morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you are. Welcome to another episode of the live community stream. My name is Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow, and I am here to share with you anything I can find in the community. It's right behind me. This is our online community where we offer support, answer questions, solve issues if we're lucky. And I've been doing this for several years. I've been with ServiceNow for about 8 years, customer for a couple before that, so I've got about 10 years of experience on the platform, mainly around custom applications and integrations. So I encourage you to stick along. Good morning, Carolyn from Ramspurt. Let me get right to the business of the day. If you are watching, let me make sure that I'm using the right keyboard. I've got two in front of me. It doesn't always work the way I want. And put that up there. If you are watching live on YouTube, I do this every day at what is it, 6? It's now 6 a.m. Pacific time. Now I should just do a UTC thing and you can figure it out from there. It's always going to be like 1 p.m. UTC. You take care of it. Good to see you. If you are watching, hey, give me a shout out. It looks like Carolyn was waiting for this to start from what I could see. We also do this on Twitch. So if you want to subscribe there as well, get the notifications, watch later. Doesn't matter to me. My goal is to not only give answers, but show you how I got those answers. What's the thought process? What reverse engineering? Maybe slip in a few things that I learned outside the community this week, or give you just some tips and hints and tricks to make you more effective at being a ServiceNow administrator and developer. That's the goal, so that you can solve your own problems in the future. I have just one more, what is it? We did YouTube. Oh, the community. Yes, of course. If you've got a question, I encourage you post it in the community so that not just, if you put it in the comments on YouTube or Twitch, nobody's going to be able to really find it later. But if it's in the community, it'll be recorded and searchable and all that other good stuff. You'll get lots more eyeballs on it. It might not be a question that I can answer right now or whatever's in my head. Get it on the community, we're all a lot better. And I will be using my personal developer instance over at developer.servicenow.com. Sorry, force a habit. And you can, let me show you what that looks like. Developer, where's my developer? That's the docs. That's not it. That's a docs page. There we go. Developer.servicenow.com is where you can find not only our scripting APIs, you can get a free personal developer instance. That's what this beastie was that you saw here. That is a free Kingston instance that I use for a sandbox, for answering questions like this, for trying new plugins. You can activate plugins that are normally pay for plugins, so you can test them and try them and demo them to your organization without impacting your developer your organization's developer instance. I would make a distinction between the instance you paid for and the free personal developer instance. So if you say, if you hear me say PDI or personal developer instance, that's the one you get for free over at developer.servicenow.com. There's also information about meetups. There's information about videos. There's a developer channel on YouTube that has a lot of great videos. I was just watching my colleague Ben Sweetser. He put together a 3-part series on source control and GitHub, the source control feature within ServiceNow and how you can use that, what troubleshooting you might run into, two-factor authentication. Great series. I encourage you to go watch that. You can find that at developer.servicenow.com and get that in there as well. I am going to do a quick screen refresh on YouTube because there's something just not right when it says one waiting, yet the stream is up. So pardon me while I just get the feed up. This thing hasn't been refreshed in days. It sits around and I just fire up the stream in the morning and it starts playing. But I want to make sure it's got the latest and greatest information. All right. It says live now. That's encouraging. And of course, let's see if it brings the chat back. Now it goes from 1 waiting to 6 watching. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to having a conversation with you. Carolyn also agrees. The two-factor thing. Yeah, it's little bits like that you know, we need a reminder. Hey, how do you set that up? How do you get that going? I forgot that I use two-factor authentication on GitHub, And I also have a GitLab account for things that I want to keep private for a while before I release them to the public. But yeah, I use two-factor authentication there, and it wasn't the simplest thing to set up because you got to be looking for, was it personal token or some crazy verbiage. Ben walks you through all that. It would have been a great video if I had done it 2 years ago. So stay honest and say, hey, how do you do this? And that will give us ideas of what you're looking for content. I appreciate that. Without further delay, let's go into the community. I'm going to start things a little bit differently today. I'm going to start with the unreplied messages and see what we can find. These have all been sitting around for anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours. Maybe some are a few days old that just haven't been replied yet. I'm going to pick and choose here based on my skill level of what we can find. Service portal, how to bring a custom field in the widget filter. I'm going to dig into that, see if there's enough description to help me out. We are new, custom GlideDB functions created. Find out more about that. That was posted almost a half hour ago. Can anyone explain about service mapping implementation? That one, note community etiquette here. A little tip for you. If you are going to post something in the community, make sure that it's in the right forum. This one went into the developer community and they're asking about service mapping, which is really an ITOM feature. I am going to answer what I can about service mapping. I do understand the basics of it, have a little bit of ITOM experience. The tea is hot. That's a good start. Whether the UI policy applies to the fields displayed under my account in self-service portal. Need to hide breadcrumb in data table widget. Lots of service portal questions coming up now. This is good to see. And only show filter option. Button issue in portal and other languages. How to button issue in portal. Let's take a look at that. I think I might be able to help with that. How to access form variable in advanced script of view rules. How to access form variable. I know what view rules are and form variables. Let's see what this. Oh, it might be a variable and not a field. So let's find out. Get glide list field on report for filter. That's going to be easy. Okay, so I've got a bunch of things lined up. Let's just take a look at them. Again, I don't guarantee that I can solve all of them. Chuck, could you take a look at community yada 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 yada? Oswin, I will do that. Let me see if I can copy and paste this with any sanity this morning. Appreciate the ping. I will look at it. No promises. Let's see. Community. Paste your link. Thank you very much. And it says node logs. Can we read contents of no log from the platform, say via script include? The node log file, that is a great question. And I thought it was whatever's in the log file is also logged to table. I got so many tabs open I lost my instance. There it is. No, this one, admin console. Sorry. Screen flipping. Apologies for that. So when you download the node logs, that is like the Apache log file that is behind the scenes. Apache, Tomcat, whatever it is. And if I go to system logs, here's a quick tip if you didn't notice. I'm going to zoom in on that if I can. Yes? No? All right. Notice how I just typed mlogs. Get out of there, little hover over. I don't have to type system logs. You can type a partial string in there. And if it's unique enough, one of my favorites is, of course, YT for performance analytics. So mlogs, or I do SS space RU, will bring me up business rules. A lot of times you type system and there's system UI policies and system definition. It just, the menu, the choices are too many. So if I go to node file browser, node file download, and node, see the node file browser lists them in a table. I believe this is being parsed on the fly. I don't think there's a way you can parse those with script includes because it's not a table. It's, let's see. Is that a unique UI action? Come on. This isn't even a form, it looks like. It is showing me UI page process due. Let's take a look at that UI page. You got me intrigued here with this. Name log browser. Okay. You got to be able to read my encoded URIs. So go to UI page, UI pages, search for, you started me out with a hot one. I probably won't even get to most of those links, most of those tabs that I brought up. So look for UI page process. It's not something we have publicly accessible. I don't know that I'm going to be able to dig into that one any deeper than that for you. Excuse me. What is the use case? Just curious. Node log has a lot more information than system logs. I agree. It's but you generally don't dig into those all that often unless you're having a problem. I'd be curious to know what the use case is for wanting to dig into the node logs. I use them very infrequently. They just don't. You're going to spend a lot of time parsing, and I don't know. Maybe you've got something that I haven't done before, which is always possible, very likely. How to bring a custom field in the widget filter. I'm facing a problem where I'm unable to get a custom field to be set as a filter in the simple list widget from the incident table. Custom field is you impacted user. How do I get the custom field in the filter portal? It references sysuser table, which is used for caller and impacted user. Table, display field is number, glyph. It's going to be in the, has this really not been responded to yet? Okay, in the filter you would have, the filter is an encoded query which you can build yourself from any standard list filter. Just build the filter using the filter builder and right click on the breadcrumb, select copy query. I have a macro for this. There's a video. Where's my little filter query builder thing? Is it complex? Video signature, example 6, details required. Nope. Oh, maybe I don't have it in my macro builder. Let's go back here to search. Complex. It's going to be content that I know. Complex queries. I know Craig did this as a quick tip based on something that I did. I thought I did a short video on this, but it might be in the TechNow library of stuff. Complex query business rule video, scripting complex queries quickly. That's what I was looking for. Hey, and I get to use a new sysid. Now, where was I replying to this? Oh yeah. This video may help. Bada boom, bada boom, doom, doom, doom. Paste in the link. Sure. Once you have that, you can put it in your widget options as you displayed. If you want to make it dynamic for the currently logged in user, then add, replace the sysid of the user with JavaScript gs.getUserID. User ID. Ding. There. One reply. in 15 minutes. Working on an on-prem installation and need to keep an eye out for performance. I think there's got to be a better way to watch for performance than that. Do you have orchestration, or do you? I'm wondering if there's a way that you could have your any sort of monitoring system look at the instance or the node for performance issues, and then use like event management for that. That seems like a cleaner way than hacking it together by parsing logs. It's also scalable. Where are new custom GlideDB functions created? I see an example to create custom function and use it in a script. Wow, that is quite the URL. We got to talk to our docs department. Can I define a custom function and reference it in a tables function field? Tables function field. If so, how? Okay, let's I think this is some of the Jakarta. Is it Jakarta or Kingston that came out with the function field? So what is the function field doing? Day of week equals function builder field open at. I don't believe that's example GlideDB function builder. Is there a what the heck are you trying to do in here? Answer, I posted this question thinking that custom functions could be devised and referenced in the function field definition like function. But wanted to know where such functions once defined could be stored. I now believe it is not possible. Rather, GlideDB function builder method is for scripts to define functions for the glide record add function method. Example below. I'm going to dig to the heart of the matter and say, what is the business requirement? What is the business requirement or use case you are trying to accomplish? Or is this purely R&D for your own curiosity? I do that sometimes. Like, hey, I see it. I want to know more about it. I want to explain about service mapping implementation. Sure, I can point you to a web page on that. I'll tell you what it is. The implementation, don't need that anymore. Are you looking for what sort of information are you looking for? Service mapping requires that's a pretty broad question. That's a pretty broad question. Best practices, personal experience, I recommend attending a snug to get face-to-face information. The community tends... no, I'm not going to make a generalization like that. If you don't find what you need in the community, I recommend face-to-face interaction. If not this online community, then a personal community always works. If you're just joining, welcome to the online community. Give me a shout out. Let me know where you're from. I know we've got people all over the world, and it's a wonderful thing. Button issue in Portal in other languages. We are implementing ServiceNow Portal in 5 languages: English, German, Italian, Finnish, and Spanish. Outstanding. We have customized out-of-box approval widget with minor modifications. In English, Finnish, the widget is working fine. But when I change the language to other than English or Finnish, then approve reject button corresponding to the approval is not working. Is it not working, or is it just not displaying? Please. What do you mean by not working? Is it displaying? Is it functioning? Doing the approval, and not displaying the text on the button properly? Or is it just, yeah, or when you click it, nothing happens? Have you checked the JavaScript console log on your browser? That's the first place I go whenever a widget isn't working quite as I expect it. Let's see what happens there. A lot of unanswered questions. After this, I'm going to go to the mailbox and see how they're piling up. Still have 5. Well, had 5 when I loaded this form. Grumble, 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 I want lot. Did I write that down yet? Did I put that in the form? Dynamic mailbox thing? I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. My notebook wandered off. Must be out on my coffee table. Okay, dynamic mailbox counter. If we get a chance at the end of the show, I'll put that in the member feedback. Mailbox counter. 316. Happy 316, everybody. I forgot to mention this show is for March 16th, 2018. Welcome, welcome. Although it says so, or it will say so after it's done rendering. We'll get that. I have a reminder that goes off about an hour or so after this is posted. So I get the right date on there, I get the right cover art, put it in the right playlist. How to access form variables of a table in advanced script via script rules. For example, I have to access priority value of incident record to be fetched in the advanced script. Current.priority is not returning any value. Note, priority is accessible through condition builder, but my requirement is to access the value in the script field. There's no current object, as you can see from the override view. All you know is view and are you on a list. You can do all the other GS stuff. Because priority, the view also applies to lists, so there's no current object. Hi, Rajesh. The way view rules work is on a list or a form. Since lists are in play, then there's no current object available, like there is in a UI action or business rule. Let me see if I can decipher what he wants from here. If priority is 1, then he wants to set it to an ESS view. Okay. What is the... It might help. Let's be nice about this. It might help to understand what you are trying to do. What is the business requirement? As there may be other options. Ah, the old XY problem. Look it up, xyproblem.info. It's fun. I fall into this trap all the time too. So when you have when you think you know the technical answer and you run into a problem and you start asking people about that technical answer, and they don't understand what is the problem you're trying to solve. Not the technical problem, but the functional problem. Because like other platforms and other programming languages, there may be alternatives that you just don't know about. There's plenty that I don't know about. And if you focus on I've got to use a view rule to solve this problem, you might be missing out on another opportunity. Maybe it's a simple UI policy. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you can get away with a script include function somewhere instead of it. There's lots of options, and that's what the community is here for. So make sure when you're specifying, and this is another one's community etiquette tips, if you're specifying an issue, give a little bit of background information on what you're trying to do. What is the business requirement you are trying to solve? Scroll, 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 hit reply, ring the bell. All right, we're getting down there. Get glide list field on report of filter. I'm going to refresh this, see if anybody else has done this. 6 views. How to query glide list field, which has a drop-down value in it on report. Let's take a look. There is a watch list. Let's do create new. Now I have the classic report builder here. Let's do the task table. Nice, easy one. List is fine. And they said the query, right? How to query glide list field. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Watch list contains, you can do does not contain is empty because it's a reference field. It's a reference field that holds multiple values. I'm going to throw this out there. See what happens. You can, I'm not sure what your issue is. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Or the problem you are trying to solve. Querying list fields is similar to any other field. I was able to put this filter on a task list report. That is it for that. Lost my cursor for a second. I'm going to dig into the inbox. How to make a reference field appear as drop-down list. Oh, this one's interesting. Chuck, is there a way for this to be achieved on the view, on the list view as well? So this is an older question, and the notification message table is a particularly interesting field called device, and device is a drop-down. Yes, although even though it's a reference, you can set the, where was it? It was, you set it to display as a choice list. There it is, choice list specification. Yeah. And I said, I use these all the time. This was 2 years ago, so forgive me if I don't recall writing these exact answers. I use these all the time. Da, 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 da. Is there a way for this to be achieved in the list view as well? That's intriguing. Let's take a look at notifications. First, I want to verify it still behaves that way. System policy, system notification, notifications. There we are. TGIF, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. If your Friday is over, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Half past the hour. Let's take a look at the first one that comes up. Email assigned to group in SC task. Table, when to send. Of course, 2 years ago, this looked quite different. What it will contain. Where was that? That was a notification record? Notification messages. Oh, that's a different table. Notification messages. I don't know what table that is, but, well, for example, this is a reference field. No, it's a table name field. I don't want to do that. That's a different beastie. You know what? Let's just give it a try. Let's give it a try. This is time for experiment. Incident.list. Let's take a reference field. Let's just make a quick reference field to something short. Incident is my poor victim that I keep abusing. Let's take business service. How many entries are in business service? Several, lots, unknown, 40. That's not bad. I wouldn't normally build a choice list with 40. But let's take the dictionary entry for business service. Right click, configure dictionary. I'm in the global space, yes, yes. Choice list specification, drop down without none. Let's make it drop down with none. That way I don't have to specify a default value. Update that. And I should see, trying to remember, I closed the window. Garbage truck going by. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, this is interesting. It's still showing as a reference field. I wonder if that's still an option. Did I save it? I don't know. All right, let's do this another way. Tables. System definition tables. This is where I have no idea what the answer is, but we're going to just play around until we find an answer. Yes, it can be done. No, it cannot be done. So let's do people. All right. We'll just call that u_people. It doesn't extend anything. I need a couple of things on here. We'll call this name, which will be the display value. And we'll call the next one, I don't know, active, which will be a true false. I put active on almost every table I create now, especially if it's a referenced table. So let's go to create that for me, and we will go to you, people, put a couple of records in there. Nothing fancy going on here today. Bye, Mr. Garbage Truck. Okay, we'll put Chuck. Save. Mark. Insert. Oops, I should have done insert and stay. Sorry. Steve. Save. Dave. Insert. Okay, so I got 4 records. And on the incident table, let's create a new field. And let's do it. Configure table. Sure. Configure table will work. Go down and add a new field. Lots and lots of tables. Lots and lots of fields, I should say. Okay, insert new row. Person, reference, people, save. For a minute I thought I was in studio. I want to hit update and then it would just stay there. But that's not what I wanted. So column is person. Let's edit that. I don't know where to put that on the form. Choice is going to be drop down with none. I don't think there's anything in here I need to do. Drop down with none. Default value. Don't need a default value. And update that. So let's go back to incident open. Will it display it? I suspect there's a length thing in there that says this is too darn long to be a good choice list. There's no crazy short description. Input field. I was trying something else. Where is my, there's in my list. People. People is a reference. So theoretically, update that, save that. Let's answer the question that was originally asked. Thanks, Stu. Have a good weekend. Good joining you, Stu from Sweden. Put it on the list. All right, drum roll, please. Let's personalize this just so it's mine and mine alone. I don't need tags for the moment, but I do want my person field. And we'll see how it's going to display. Click, click. Choice list. Ah, oh, interesting. Where's the choices? That's funny. I mean, not funny, but wow. That's just wrong. I'd call that a bug. I would have expected my choices to show up. Okay, let's do a screenshot. This is list v3, by the way. Let's also test list v2 in just a sec. I can do that by going to list control. And down here say disable list v3 just for this list. Now I've got list v2. Click, click. And it shows a reference field. Okay, so not in list v2, and list v3 seems to have a bug. That's not the world's greatest answer. But it is an answer. Okay, is there a way to choose it? I don't believe this is possible. We already configured the table to have a reference to autocomplete and set the Ajax choice list we could find. This is not a mechanism to configure the control any differently. So someone beat me to the response by just a couple of minutes, but that's okay. Here's my findings. It doesn't work in list v2. Reference fields are shown with the reference lookup. All right. In list v3, it does show a choice list picker, but doesn't seem to be populating properly. I call this a BUG. Even in Kingston, I think I'm on patch 2. Stats.do, patch 1. B1. Path to ES6, ES7. This is something I spotted just before the show started. Discussion from quite a while ago. We upgraded to ES5 in Helsinki, which is ECMAScript, another name for JavaScript, just a version. And people are saying, well, what about ES6, ES7? When are we going to get those? And keep in mind, there is a lot of testing that goes on because we've got a fork of these. Those scripts are intended for client side, and we're doing server side as well. So we have to take care of porting all that and script. Oops, almost dropped my phone. And making sure it's compatible. We don't want to break customer development. And I said, Cohen, I hope I said that right, said string templates would be nice to have. I did a little research on these, and they're actually called template strings, JavaScript template strings. And I found an article, where was it? An intro to template strings. This one seemed to be interesting. And the issue, it's learning time for everyone here today on live coding. No, not live coding, live community stream. It allows you to do what some other languages have by putting the variables into the string instead of concatenating, you know, today is : close quote plus variable name plus open quote, and keep stringing these things together. Whew. Slow browser, take a big drink. Well, that's not good. It was there a minute ago. I'll wait. I'll find another page. Oh, I have a title. Oh, title. Page looks like it might be loading. Let's see what we have here. Make it a little bigger so you can see that online. And you can see that the string is going to have this internal expression. Does that look familiar? ServiceNow has that all over the place, but not in the JavaScript itself. It's usually interpreted as part of something else, like gs.getMessage or an email notification. I've even written one where I've parsed things and put them in there in an application that I had written. So that's the idea of template strings. And my response to this in my inbox is going to be that we already have something very similar, if not better, because it does the language translation for you. I submit that we already have this, only better, because it does language translation. As a best practice, you shouldn't be creating hard-coded strings and displaying them to users, oops, on the screen, email, etc. Instead, use gs.getMessage to translate the string for you. Using this, you can also pass parameters that get substituted, didn't give me a red underline, so I got it right, into the string. I have an old blog article that I'm going to look up, not there, community, do a quick search. It was called, this is from about 6-7 years ago. Where? Search the community. gs.getMessage second parameter? I think that's what it was called. There it is. Take that. Copy link. Inbox. Log. gs.getMessage. The second parameter. Almost sounds like a movie title. In a world. Okay. We're having fun today, aren't we? It is 1:15, and I have yet to mention Knowledge. Knowledge is coming up May 7th through 10th. Don't miss out. I got to hit the reply button on that one. Okay. Don't miss out. Lots of good stuff. If you haven't already signed up, go take a look, knowledge.servicenow.com. And as always, I want to remind the developers and admins to check the box that says CreatorCon so that you are entitled to take part with the deeper technical content around the platform and custom applications and integrations and all that cool stuff that we thrive upon. It's a wonderful thing. So don't forget to check the checkbox. Let me refresh my inbox. Go back to the main screen. Hope to see you there. Venetian, Vegas, May 7th through 10th. Jim has replied to Chuck Curiosity. I was just trying to understand what it does since it's a new feature. Yes, it's a new feature, and I thought, hold that thought, I need to check my TOI notes. Not TMI, TOI. This is where Evernote comes in because my brain is leaky. Tag TOI GlideDBFunction. I had a PowerPoint about that. It is in Kingston. I thought it was Jakarta. My, how time does fly. Yes, this is a new function. Check out Tech Now, episode 43? I can't remember. Brain, getting old. Leaky brain. Tech Now, episode listing. You'd think I'd have a bookmark there, and I think I do somewhere. I could have sworn I looked for episode list yesterday, and it was titled Listing. And we scroll down. I'm going to revamp this page at some point. Oh, minor schedule change. We have to change the June lineup. So this will be updating. I know 42 is Craig doing reporting. 43, 44. Okay. So let's copy that and invite him. Of this Tech Now episode list. It's funny, my brain is so old I can't remember what to search for, but it does remember the episode numbers of certain key episodes that just keep coming up and again. All right, reply. I made it less susceptible to hit the wrong button. I color-coded it. How to make a reference field appear as a drop-down. This discussion. I just responded and said, it looks like a bug. And once again, I don't understand what the order is in these. Service portal, how to bring a custom field in the widget filter. I've tried those steps getting the filter query from the breadcrumbs. Also, still the impacted user is not able to view the ticket. If I cascaded the impacted user field to another system-defined reference field, I'm able to get it on both ends, but need those reference fields. I just completely lost what happened there. I don't know what cascading the impacted user field data to another system-defined reference field means. I have to let that one go for now because I don't understand. There are a few more in here that I wanted to get before the hour runs out. We've got about 10 minutes left. Again, thank you for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Event fired, notification not sent. This one's pretty cool. It's, again, we're dealing with a 2-year-old thread, but there is a response in here. Didn't take me directly to it this time, unfortunately. Accepted solution. There's an underlying error in the dev environment that resolved itself. Notification started sending, but that's not the reply. The one we want has the blue border around it, which is going to be down here. In your email properties, do you have... In my instance, I'm facing the same issue. Emails are triggered, but it is of type send ignored in my test instance. I've checked the user profile, that is active, but still emails are send ignored type. What I recommend, my favoritist, that's a new word, favoritist feature introduced to notifications is the, is it preview button? It's so, I use it so often I don't even look at it. It's kind of like when you drive home. Do you remember? Do you know what street you're turning on? Preview notification. So click that and it will allow you to test whether this email is going to work. And you can say this one happens to be triggered by record inserted or updated. I want the send when. Let's find an example because they're doing this by event. Let's tweak the filter. And that said send when is event is fired, so I can find a record that's similar to that. Scheduled import completed. Sure, that ought to work. Event fired. Preview notification. Event creator. Preview record. So let's do a, I don't think there's an import set to choose from. No. Bad example. This is why I'm not doing a demo today. So in the notifications, we can check that. Let's find something that is more likely to have, wow, the reminder table. Task SLA. I've got to have an SLA record I can pick on, right? Preview. There we go. Hover, oh, even better. It has an error, so that's exactly what I wanted. Okay. In the notification, there is a button introduced in Helsinki, I believe, called Preview Notification. Click it and select a sample data record in the modal that pops up. Sample below. If the name is red and crossed out, hover over it and you'll find the reason why the mail was not sent. Again, as in this. Yes, image type not supported, blah, blah, blah. Back down to my response. There it is. It appears big, but it'll scale when it gets into this thing. This is one of my favorite email debugging features. So useful. There. Done. What else is hanging around the old inbox today? Need to close 250,000 incidents. So can you suggest me the best possible way? This is a thread from yesterday. Somebody wanted to do a mass data update. And I realized in my script that I wrote up here this morning, darn coding before 7 a.m. Kids, don't drink and code. Don't code before 7 a.m. I had the set workflow false and set auto sys fields up above the loop. Bad idea. So I put them in here because Marcus came back and said, you might want to check it's not going to send out 250,000 emails. So I said, yeah, now that I put it in the right place, set workflow does not trigger the emails. So it shuts down all business rules and workflows, which may or may not be what you want. In the case of updating 250,000 records, yeah, turn it off. Turn it off. Workflow undefined may be missing global qualifier. This is a script from yesterday that they said, hey, I'm making a UI action. I copied it. I want to do the show workflow link on my table in the related links, just like you see on the change request, so you can show that beautiful visual workflow of where you are in the process. And they said, I'm getting this error message. It says, workflow is undefined, maybe missing global qualifier. And I said, yeah, that's going to happen. It's from the condition field, and it should read like this. Just add global.workflow, and you're all set. He said, yay, that's correct. It fixed it. I'll buy you a beer at Knowledge. I think it's all included there. And I believe one of the community people came back and said, hey, if this solved your problem, mark it correct so it's taken off the unanswered list. And I don't see it actually marked. I thought there was a reply in here from the community. Okay, well, I am going to give my old macro that says, thank you, please mark it correct so it's taken off the unanswered list. it shows I have one more message in here in my inbox. I apologize for the scrolling. I know I can get a little nauseous. Do a quick refresh. Might be a new latecomer just came in. Yes. REST message returns null. No? Where'd that go? Where's my one message? This is why I want to filter. This is show unread. Because now I have to go digging through this thing to find where is it. I'm looking for the little blue dot and I don't see it. I don't know where it is. I may have to find this later when we're offline. I apologize. I want my filter. Where's the thing to upvote it? All right, since I'm on the rant of, not a rant, but tirade. I don't know what's better. Let's go to the community, search for member feedback. I should bookmark this because it seems like I find something every day that I want. I'll wait for it to load up. Forums. Forum tab. Slow browser, take a drink. There we are. Hey, you know, you can stay hydrated while you do the community. It's a good thing. I'm going to look for, I think this is a limited list. Yes, show more. Is there, I have a question, start typing here. Unread. Hopefully this isn't searching the whole community. Maybe it's searching just the forum. No, it's not. Add features, show unread messages in inbox. How much you want to bet this is mine? Getting old sucks. 23 days ago. Okay, so apparently I did this a month ago. It still hasn't been implemented, but I don't know how often we're updating the community software. Nice thing is, it's our software now. We can modify it. We can add, tweak the widgets the way we want. The other thing I wanted, go to member feedback. What was my note this morning? Dynamic mailbox counter. There we go. I may have said that one too. Hold on. Let's go back. Oh, that isn't a back thing. Dynamic mailbox notification. It might be under notification. No matches found. That's topic. That's not what I wanted. Dynamic mailbox. Is it searching? Yes, it is. Watch the dots, kids. Well, it searches out possible on change, slow transaction. Can we add a dynamic notification? Having issues with who will receive dynamic notification, notification display. How do we make okay, let's put it in here. Hey, if I'm dynamic notification counter. Right. Do a quick screenshot just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Hey. Hey. Not sure what happened there. Can we get the notification counter to watch for events and stay up to date? This is inter-widget communications. So when somebody broadcasts an event, the thing is, I don't know if it's on the same page or not. I don't know enough about Service Portal to say, if I've got multiple open tabs and I read 2 messages, it goes from 6 down to 4, will they all get updated or will just the one on that page get updated? But it's worth asking. It seems to be static when the page is loaded. If I go to another tab, Let's spell things right today, kids. To open my inbox and read a couple messages, the other tabs don't get updated. Yes, this is a thing in Jive. All right, that takes me to the top of the hour. I think we're done here. At least I am for today. I wish you the very best weekend. Have a great Friday if you're just getting your day started. And remember, if you learned something today, and we all do, learn something new every day and you continue to grow, be sure to share it. Find a way to share it with your colleagues, your friends, your other stuff, and that will help them. So take that to heart, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the next episode, which would be the 21st. Is that the equinox? We'll find out. It's either the 20th or the 21st. I can never remember my equinox numbers. They jump around. I will see you on Monday the 19th. It's the 19th. I thought today was the 18th for some reason. Let's not make time go faster than it already is. It'll be the 19th. I will see you Monday on the 19th on the next episode of Community Live Stream. Is it Community Live Stream or Live Community Stream? I need to figure out the branding on this. It's been like 4 months. I'll figure it out over the weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Have a good weekend. Bye.